Stanley, how about that hot picture you have by your desk? Centerfold in the Catholic schoolgirl's outfit. I mean, it is hot, it is sexy, and it turns him on, and I will admit, the best part of my morning is staring at it.
Greetings, guest. Welcome to the Patriarchy, where we explore cinema classics fueled by predictive Hollywood programming and unpack how our favorite characters in cinema got egg all over their faces. I am your commentator, Dom, and tonight we're unpacking the obsession with defiling purity.
That is my daughter. She goes to Catholic girls' school. I'm taking it down right now.
In August 1985, the Red Hot Chili Peppers released the single Catholic Schoolgirls Rule. This song was the 11th track on the rock band's second studio album titled Freaky Styley. Now, the video made for this track was so provocative that it could only be played on Playboy TV. And according to Scar Tissue, an autobiography of the band's singer Anthony Kiedis, this song was inspired by a 14-year-old fan. Yes, you heard that correctly, a 14-year-old fan who went to Catholic school that the then 20-year-old singer was hooking up with backstage at the band's concerts. Anthony Kiedis actually took this 14-year-old girl on tour and continued to sleep with her despite being fully aware of her age. Listen to the bridge of Catholic Schoolgirls Rule. 4 years later, in 1989, Madonna's Catholic upbringing would inspire her to release the wildly controversial single from her fourth studio album, Like a Prayer. The video release for this song features burning crosses and the popular singer sporting sexy lingerie in a church as she makes out with Jesus. There was such an uproar over the visuals that accompanied this song that Pope John Paul II actually encouraged fans to boycott Madonna over this record. Now, I actually love this song and the video that goes along with it, albeit controversial. It's just very well and artistically done, and we can all appreciate the vision, right? But I'm building this up to point out that these two videos, released in the 80s, set the stage for a culture obsessed with publicly defiling purity. If you have other examples of this, please do share them down below. Now, peeling back the layers of the hot Catholic schoolgirl trope, it's become a popular theme because perhaps there's some double dipping involved. Not only is the subject, who's often a young adolescent girl, being objectified sexually, thus being stripped of her innocence, but the added layer of the subject, often a young adolescent girl, also being immersed in the moral compass and learnings of organized religion, and yet still being corruptible, makes the quest for men trying to quote-unquote corrupt her even more alluring.
This is a challenge.
Why I Plan to Wait by Annette Hargrove, Kansas City, Kansas.
Oh, she's Daddy's little angel. Paradigm of chastity and virtue.
This subject matter came to me after watching one of my favorite films titled That Night. If you haven't seen it, it's actually free to watch on YouTube. I'll link it down below. But the movie is a really cute coming-of-age story about a young girl's idolization of the girl next door, who happens to be a Catholic schoolgirl teenager, and the two form a bond over the young girl Alice helping her neighbor Cheryl sneak out to see her boyfriend under the guise of babysitting. But yeah, there's this one scene in the film where the teen girl Cheryl, played by Juliette Lewis, is sucking down oysters and drinking hard liquor and making out like a pro with her new older boyfriend Rick. And he looks at her and says,
I thought you said you went to Catholic school.
Yeah.
But this scene just got me thinking about this trope and why it was so essential for the writers to center the fact that Juliette's character, Cheryl, was raised Catholic. Like, it wasn't enough that she was a teenager who was having a sexual relationship with an older man who worked at the bowling alley who eventually gets her pregnant, but they have to hone in on the fact that she's also a religious girl.
I think you're a Catholic girl.
And while on this track, I actually think it'd be interesting to deep dive on films that feature Christian or Mormon or Catholic teen pregnancy, like Saved or Electric Children, and how this patriarchal religious indoctrination confuses some teens who are heavily entrenched in their faith about sex. Like, the teens in these films don't fit the trope that we're discussing today, but they still find themselves to be victims of their own confusion and the confusion caused by their religious beliefs. But back to that night, perhaps the writers are going for the polar opposites attract angle. Or perhaps we are being programmed to see how eager some men are to exploit not only young women, but chaste women. This is why you hear them talking about body counts and wanting virgins. However, the young women from this particular trope always present as being very sexually experienced, like that real-life 14-year-old girl at the Red Hot Chili Peppers concert, or like Cheryl from that night, or like Nancy from The Craft.
That's why I'm here, to help you forget about it.
Now, it's very easy to explain away the evolution of this particular archetype as simple teenage rebellion. You've got the overprotective parents who sends their daughter to a school with overzealous nuns whose mission it is to be protectors of chastity.
No fraternizing! Stay away from him, he's a boy!
But the fact that the character archetype still shows up as a popular fantasy amongst some men is highly problematic.
That is my daughter. She goes to Catholic girls' school. I'm taking it down right now.
What are your thoughts about this topic? And if you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more content. Signing off now, your friend, Dom.